Hello and welcome to the Frugal Granny channel. I'm Frugal Granny, my name's Ali, and this is Kitty, who's come to say hello quickly before I put her back in her basket. I know that some of you like to see Kitty, but there she is. I'm a 64-and-a-half-year-old pre-retiree, and I will be retiring from my office job at the end of June. My last day at the office is next Thursday, and I'm definitely winding down now towards retirement from that part of my employment. I work at the moment 35 hours a week in the office job and another 18 in a supermarket. I will be continuing my supermarket job once I've retired from the office. And this channel basically has been documenting the run-up to my retirement from my office job, the preparations that I've had to put in place, and will also document the changes that I'm having to adjust to once I have made the leap. Anyway, today is office job payday. The paycheck that came into my bank account today is the last but one paycheck that I will get from that employment. And as you know from my sinking funds video, that this salary gets allocated very specifically to sinking funds, and any balance is going towards the final renovation project, which includes the replacement of the glass in my front door. So let me go through with you how things have been allocated today. And I'm just going to move that cup of tea because I can see the steam coming up in front of the camera. Let's just move that out of shot. Right, so as I said on the last paycheck allocation video, my net income from the office is £1,677.80. It's usually £70 more than that, but at the moment I'm having to pay for a day a month salary sacrifice for some annual leave that I booked, unpaid annual leave that I booked before I actually decided to resign. So I'm £70 a month down for these 3 months running up to my retirement from that job. But that's fine because that £70 was effectively discretionary spending. So I'm basically having 3 what they call no spend months running up to retiring from the office job. So the first thing that actually is coming out of this salary this month is the balance of the payment I owe to my main credit card for the replacement of the glass in my front door. I had the horrible 1970s glass replaced with some sandblasted glass that has a Victorian pattern on it, so it's a lot more in keeping with the front of the house. Now the bill for that was £840, and as I mentioned before, I was shocked a little bit because they forgot to tell me that there would be VAT on the estimate. So it was a little bit more than I had expected. So what I did last month was I put that on my credit card. I paid them with my credit card, and I paid off £300 last month. So this month I have to pay off £540, and that effectively has come out of my office salary for this month. So usually I put £400 a month towards the exterior renovation fund. This month I have to find £540. So the £400 has already gone. I paid my credit card that £400 last night. As soon as this paycheck hit my bank account, the £400 went straight away to the credit card. The other £140 also went, and to do that, I reallocated the £40 for my wellbeing sinking fund. That's the money that pays for haircuts, not that you'd notice, nails, feet, teeth, that sort of thing. So that went to the credit card this month to help pay off the glass in the front door. And then the other £100 for that came from the new fridge sinking fund. So that sinking fund is totally empty now. There's nothing there to help pay for the new fridge. So the £540 I owe my credit card for the balance of the payment on the glass in the front door is now clear. So £540 has come off the £1,677.80 of my salary, and thankfully that bit's done. Right. The second thing that's going to come off will be the £500 that I allocate for utilities. That will move automatically next week to another bank account with another bank, and all my utilities are paid automatically from that bank account, so I don't actually have to worry about them. The only thing that I think is up for contention in that respect is my council tax for June. My son technically finishes being a student today, so as of next week he is a, well, real adult or a non-student, so he will be liable for council tax, which means I lose my single person's council tax discount, and I'm not sure whether they've taken that into account when they sent me my bill for the year and divided that into 12 payments, or whether they've taken 2 payments at the old rate with the discount and the remaining payments are going to be without the discount. It's not clear, so I'm waiting with bated breath to see whether my council tax payment goes up next week. I have got a little bit of a buffer in that bank account, so if it does, it will be okay, but it will mean that I've got to adjust my budgets going forward. Just remember to amend my spreadsheet going forward. Right, so the £540 for the credit card for the glass has come out, the £500 for the utilities, and then tomorrow I will take out £30 cash for the month, which I just like to have in case I need it. And then last night, because I couldn't sleep, I did my sinking fund allocations in the early hours, just after the pay hit my bank account. So the emergency fund got its usual £125. I'm trying to get that fund up to 1,000. I think I'm up to about 600 now. So I'm not actually going to reach that target before I retire from the office job, but I will keep chipping away at that to try and build it up to the £1,000 that I like to have in there. Always try to keep £1,000 in an emergency fund, but the whole chimney fiasco cleaned that out, and I've been trying to rebuild that ever since January, and I think I'm now probably back up to about £600, which makes me feel a little bit better. Right, and £100 has then gone to the car sinking fund, so that includes anything to do with the car except petrol, so MOT, servicing, insurance, road tax, and recovery payment, breakdown cover. Okay, so that's £100 a month. That got moved last night. Then £50 for my annual expenses sinking fund got moved, so that's to pay for boiler servicing, chimney sweeping, antivirus software, and I know there's something else in there as well. I can't remember what it is at the moment, but that's been moved. The repair and replace sinking fund money has been moved. That's £25. That's for smaller repairs, like if I need a new kettle, or we decide the frying pans need replacing, or I drop the glass jug and I need a new one, that sort of thing. And as I've already said, the wellbeing sinking fund and the fridge sinking fund, that money has gone to my credit card to pay for the glass in the front door this month. Then next week, £15.75 will go out to pay for Kitty's monthly medical subscription. And last night I moved £50 to the vet sinking fund in case I need to take her to see the vet at any time. So the the medical subscription is the one of the direct debits I need to keep this account functioning. The other one is the minimum payment to my main credit card, and that is set up as £10. Or if the balance on my credit card is less than that, it will be whatever that amount is. But I keep it at £10 because that's usually the minimum. And I need to have 2 direct debits on this bank account to get the special conditions and the enhanced rates on my saver. So I need to keep that direct debit in place. And Amazon Prime comes out of my credit card, so the minimum payment effectively goes onto there and pays for Amazon Prime. And if there's anything else sat on there, it won't just be the $8.99 for Amazon Prime, it will be the whole £10. So I then have Amazon Primes being paid for, and the extra pound and a penny comes off whatever else is sat there until I get round to paying that. Okay, sorry, that was a bit complicated. Then petrol, £25. I noticed as I drove by at lunchtime after taking Kitty to the park that I think it's down to about £1.29 a litre now, which is really good news. So I'm going to fill up to £25 tomorrow. And then I've allocated 4 lots of £45 for 4 weeks worth of food shopping or discretionary shopping, consumables basically, which leaves £27.05 for discretionary spending or treats, which if it's a 4-week month, which I'm not sure, it probably isn't, that's about £5 a week, which is an ice cream or something or other. So that's the end of it. In one hand, the other. So yeah, so it's sort of all allocated, and what can be moved has already been moved. And I just want to mention at this point something that someone mentioned in the comments to one of my recent videos. You know, make sure you've paid off your mortgage and your debts before you retire. Let me just make it clear here, because I don't actually state this in most of my videos, but I am mortgage free and I own the freehold on this house. The land it stands on is mine, and apart from a £50 debt on my secondary credit card, which is an interest-free credit card at the moment, and that's the last payment on a laptop, I have no debts. I don't, not at all. It's just literally that £50, and I could pay that off today if I wanted to, but I choose to leave it there because it just helps me budget my money over time. I don't actually need to pay that off till September, so there's no urgency really, but I do want to clear it before the end of next month, and that £50 will come out of my supermarket pay in 3 weeks' time. So even the small debt that I have got left, that £50 debt will be gone next month. So I am literally debt and mortgage free. I am just living on, at the moment, a limited income, and any excess that I've got is going towards paying this final project on my house, which started this week. That project came in at £3,500. I've already paid a 10% deposit. £3,564.86. So I've paid £500, which leaves £3,208.38 to find. I put aside £500 for the scaffolding out of my last supermarket pay. That sat in a spare bank account waiting for the invoice to arrive, and then I will pay that. So that leaves me, where are we? £2,708.38 to find. Well, £2,208.38 of that is already sat in the exterior renovation sinking fund, and the final £500 will come out of either my supermarket salary or my final office salary in June. So although I am in debt to this contractor by that amount, the money is actually sat there and waiting, and what money is not sat there will be sat there by the time he's finished the job and needs paying. So, please don't worry. I'm not in debt. I haven't got a mortgage. I'd like to think that I have provided for, contingencies by trying to build up an emergency fund, by trying to stick to a budget, by trying to be responsible, by not overspending on things that I shouldn't, shouldn't. It's all relative, isn't it? We've all got different things that we should and shouldn't be spending our money on. So hopefully all will be well. I'm on track. The budgeting's done for the month. The things that need to move have been moved. So all's well. I mean, in some ways, it would be nice to be able to say there was some drama and, something for you all to get excited about, but there isn't. The main excitement here is that my plan is actually working, that I can see that the loose ends will hopefully tie themselves up at the end of June, and my June salary, which is the last salary from the office, will see me through July. And then in July I really need to start putting stuff aside and making sure that the third annuity is sorted out so that I have got some income for August. Now, in respect to that third annuity, which is coming out of the pension on my office job, I spoke to them today because I've not heard anything from them for 10 days now since posting those forms. And they said that I should be getting a response from them on Monday. He looked at their case tracker and he said that it was down for the 2nd of June. That was their turnaround time. So I'm hoping I might hear back from them on Monday and have a little bit of a better idea about the time scale. I mean, I'm definitely going to take the 25% tax free. And I did mention before that I was thinking about getting a fixed term annuity with a defined lump sum at the end. So I'm waiting with bated breath to see if that option exists for the pension fund that I belong to. And if it does exist, whether it exists in the form that I've sort of set my heart on. So again, we're sort of on track with that as well, which is fantastic. The other thing that I'm not sure if we were on track or not is with the YouTube monetization. I've clicked on a few things last night and it looks like I have to wait until maybe as late as the 12th of June before anything that my channel has earned in May moves to the AdSense account. And I'm thinking that when that happens, that's probably, I think, when they will email me and say, can you provide your banking details and fill in any necessary tax forms or not, as it may be. So I'm just sort of holding my breath with that because I think that is going to be a long drawn out process. But if they pay me something at the end of June, that would be fantastic. I'm still trying to decide what to do with that money at the moment. I mean, the big things on my so-called shopping list are, as I've mentioned several times, a new fridge for the kitchen. But I'm working on the principle at the moment that if it's not broken, why fix it? But it is breaking. I mean, it's rusty, it leaks, the condensation tube's broken. I'm not sure how energy efficient it is, but at least it's still working, but I'm not sure how much longer it will be working for. The only other thing that I really am committed to that I've not mentioned yet are driving lessons for my youngest son. My other 3 children are all drivers now, and it's just a matter of getting him across that finishing line, and I had already committed to that before I resigned. And as I've said before, in relation to the queries about work phone on my supermarket salary budget, I'm a woman of my word, and so that will happen. That is on my shopping list, and I'm just wondering whether to start with the YouTube income maybe will be funneled in that direction to a set pre-discussed set limit. We've agreed that I will pay a certain amount, and then if it goes beyond that, I guess that's up to him really. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about that, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens, because as I said before, I really didn't expect anything from that. But yeah, it'll be something, and it's gonna help. I mean, if it helps to sort of meet that promise that I made, that would be really good. So I don't think there's anything else really to talk about in terms of the office salary at the moment. What we might do on Monday is have a quick look at how I spent my discretionary spending in May, and was there anything I could have done better or different, and we could have a little look at that. I did have a shot at filming the Prepper Pantry tour today, and I'm going to have to do it again because it's been a bit of a challenge. There are lighting issues and angle issues, and also, again, I still don't know how to join clips together, so I'm having to think about how I can film this in a way that I can edit out transitions so that it looks like clips joined together when it is actually just a one take that's been cut to look like it's edited nicely. So I'm probably going to have another go at that over the weekend, and then next Thursday we will have a coffee and catch up and just reflect on leaving the office, because that will be my last day. I'm going to go in, hand back my ID card, my keys, my laptop, and say goodbye to them, and then it will be the beginning of something new. I mean, obviously the new thing won't come in straight away from a financial point of view, because I'll still be living on my May paycheck in June, and in July I'll be living on my June paycheck. But still, actually leaving the office and having time to myself and actually being on annual leave from that job will be a big change. And you know, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I want to do with that time, and yeah, where we go from here. But anyway, thank you for dropping by. I know this probably hasn't been life-changingly shattering news today, but the fantastic news is that I had a plan, I've stuck to the plan, it's working, and it looks like everything is going to come together at the point in time that I had anticipated, and that's absolutely fantastic. So the take-home message from this really would be is, you know, if you are going to retire, just figure out what you've got to pay for before you make the leap, and make sure that your budget is set up in a way to achieve that. And I think I've done that. Well, I'm almost there, and I'm quite pleased with myself, actually. I really am. But anyway, thanks for dropping by again. Please feel free to comment, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, but obviously only if you want to, and give it a thumbs up. Bye bye for now.